All right, welcome to During Business Hours. My name is Christopher. This is my lovely wife, Leslie, my evening co-host for this Saturday night. I was browsing Twitter, and I came across something that was really disturbing, yet very enlightening. Something I didn't know about. Auschwitz, Germany.
Not what you thought it was?
Not what I thought it was. I was very concerned, and then I dug a little deeper into it, and look what I found. Let's see. We're going to go here. So this is what I thought Auschwitz was like a concentration camp area. But apparently there's some drama on Twitter where people decided that it would be best to go there like it was Disneyland. Look at how happy they look. And this is where...
Her a little more so than him, but still.
I'm wondering if this is where he thought he would propose.
Oh, no.
Or she thought he would propose. Look at how happy she looks.
So my two pieces on that, because from my understanding, people in Germany are not proud of this place, obviously, but buses that go to this area only drop you off like within a mile. So one would have to walk the remainder of the distance. But two, why are people visiting this like to begin with, even whether you're treating it like it's Disneyland or not? Like, I feel like...
Well, you could say similarly, why do people visit the railroad museums, because there was a lot of deaths, a lot of slavery, workers, so on and so forth. But a lot of people don't think of that. They think of the trains. Now, you put the word museum in front of anything, and it's going to be tourist attraction. There's probably a damn gift shop.
So do you think that it's just pure ignorance on their behalf? Like how...
They had to have known when they got there.
Especially with those headsets.
I'm a pretty strong man, I would say, like emotionally strong. This would freak me the fuck out if I brought you to a concentration camp where I'm like, hold on, we're going to have some soul searching.
You're going to catch a soul.
Exactly. Like you're going to go to a place where millions of people probably died in brutal fashion. Something here has got to click. Or you're a psychopath.
But look
right?
at all those people.
Look at all those sad people in the background. These people look like they're in mourning or like exploring, not having a grand old time. But what got me even worse is this man, Floyd YID, said, "I'm asking nicely. Please remove the pictures of that woman smiling like she's at Disneyland at a memorial for people who were robbed, starved, gassed, burned, tortured, etc. It's disturbing AF." No shit. And it goes on and on. A lot of people are very pissed that they look like they're at Disneyland. I would be pissed, and I'm not even Jewish. I feel like this is... Who are these people? I'm offended, and I'm not usually offended by anything.
People are like hearting this as you speak. That's disturbing in itself.
This is like the new thing right now. This has quote tweets from hell. Like you go here, and it's just... crazy. You have to be a dumbass to think taking pictures of smiling in your place that millions of innocent people died. This isn't Disneyland. Lots of people have commented on how awful it was to do this, but not enough people have talked about how terrible this guy's facial hair is. Okay, now they're getting personal. The smile that explains everything about this generation. We live in a generation with a profound lack of historical perspective. We do. And that's where it got me. While waiting for you to drive here, I was just on Twitter, trying to get on Twitter.
Rabbit-holing into this?
Not even. I'm on Twitter looking at the normal news, and I'm like, I don't know shit about this place, but I wouldn't be this bad. Like, I am ignorant to the Holocaust, World War I, World War II information. It's not something that ever sparked an interest in school for me. It wasn't something that I dug into, and my family never talked about it. My father is Native American. My mother is white redneck. Just saying. I know about Trail of Tears, his nationality background.
Lineage.
Yeah, what his people went through and how my Grandma Belle lived through it in the early 40s and 50s.
Well, she would have been alive to see the effects of this.
She never mentioned World War II. Never mentioned...
That's not uncommon because even those... I don't think there's many survivors left standing from those days, but they're not ones to talk about it either.
It's just... It all of a sudden, I was like, my problems today mean jack shit. I'm not this person.
So what's up with their social media? Are they responding to anything?
His name's Jamie McDonnell. Let's see what he is doing today or yesterday. He's got a child, so he's a father. He's a fighter of some sort. Boxer, British, undefeated English, British, Commonwealth, European, IBF world champion, and WBA world bantamweight champion.
Looks like he's from
He's
the
bantamweight,
UK,
so he's very small. So, jobs fucked. Last time I come Poland, 5 hours. What is jobs fucked? It says, see if we get the same shit again. Lovely night here in Poland with the other half. Told her not to smile, but hey ho.
So they just
So
don't
creepy
care.
smile. They're leaning into it. Understand boxer and one half of a team Mac. Inquire contact. Just ask. Managed by. Maybe it shouldn't be, but no one place to visit Poland. Hence why we went. Maybe get your facts before tweeting. Not tourist place. Not even one bit. Well, I don't think I am. I'm the wrong Berlin to go to Disneyland. Take smiling selfie. Say sorry and crack on. So he's retweeting
there's just no
everyone.
empathy or remorse.
No, he's leaning into it. Laughing and joking seriously. I had a trip, so I went and can't spell. Who gives a fuck? Not me. You do obviously maybe get a life and getting boring on Twitter. This tweet has been deleted by the tweet author. Look on TripAdvisor. Don't call me. Only way. And girlfriend, chill. You fucking bean. It's annoying. So he's really like going into people.
Ew, I don't even want to give them any more.
Apparently he's some fighter.
Enough.
So he went to TripAdvisor and he's like, leave it there. Bestseller, memorial, museum, guided tour from Krakow. I understand that.
So
I understand he thinks it's a traveler's destination. But there's a weight. I am ignorant to this stuff. And the first thing that came up was death in my mind. Like, I don't know a lot about it. But if you're on a fucking museum, like a travel site, and they're like museum, guided tour, and they're guiding you, and there's translations, and it's telling you of all the people that died, the people that came from here, the escapees, all that. And she's smiling and happy along. Is she just on fucking Twitter and TikTok and disregarding the 6 to 7 million Jews that died? Like,
or
what is
part
it?
Of those people that are like, well, it didn't happen to me, so I don't care.
Like, oh, I'm so blessed. Like, hashtag amazing life. Like, that's what this person looks like. I don't give a shit if they go whoop my ass. Like, all these people are retweeting about, like, oh, you can move. Come to California. I'll throw piss at you.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Hey, well, I went to Korea. They did that to me. Just saying. It's a fun comment. For those who don't know, I was in the military, and within my first 4 hours of going to Korea, I had a bucket of piss thrown on me. It was a fun time in 2009. And I'm just saying, hey, you're visiting, here's a bucket of pee.
Yeah?
Yeah, so he's from the UK, visit California. Hey, mate.
I was seeing, not to get off topic, but I saw a TikTok from another guy that's from the UK, and he was flabbergasted that he just found out that the Grand Canyon is comparable to the size of the UK. The Grand Canyon alone.
Couldn't England fit in Texas?
Probably.
I think that's one of those things. Let me double check this. England, size of... which U.S. state is the same size as the UK? Oregon.
So not even.
Oregon is about 93,000 square miles. Population of 3.8 million, which is our county. Sacramento County.
Wow.
Square miles bearing more than 61 million good eggs. What does that mean? That is crazy.
Good eggs is their people. Like, that's a good egg. That's a good person.
That's a good yolk. Okay. Folk. Yeah. Good folk. The U.S. states that are bigger than Britain include Alaska, Texas, Oregon, Montana, and New Mexico. So California isn't bigger, but it's larger
in population capacity.
Oh, Alaska is more than 7 times the size of the UK, which is covered. Comparative countries: England, Scotland, Wales, North Ireland. Man, that's crazy. California is equal to 1.74 UKs.
Wow.
I live in 1.74 UKs. That is hilarious. What would that be?
Turned a little Bane right there, but okay.
Just look at the size of the map, the overage. Like, the world map is kind of contorted in your mind. Mm-hmm. Did you know that?
Yeah, it's what we think of the globe is not accurate.
Oh my, yeah, absolutely. Have you ever seen the Greenland?
I know that Greenland and Iceland should actually switch names because at this point in time they're not what
The
they were.
problem is the inflated size of this right here on the map. It is so much different. So let's see, actual position on the equator on the USA. So in relation, I always thought that this was huge compared. Oh my God, nobody cares that I'm using an ad blocker. I always thought that Greenland was huge compared to the USA. As you can see in this position here, let me, not do that, I guess, because it doesn't work. Yeah, so Greenland should be twice the size of the US.
Wow.
That's what I thought. If you put this, because your face should be closer when you're looking up, apparently, is how they say this. Now, if you put this on the equator, it is like 1/8 the size of Africa and only 1/3 the size of the United States, or less. That's crazy. So that means that all this ice here that I thought there was an endless sea of ice. Endless. I thought you could walk for millions of miles in the North Pole. And that's why I was like, we're never going to find Santa. They're up there.
Dang.
Somebody's there's igloos, tunnels, there's alien ships, all kinds of shit. No. It's like this big.
Jeez.
This big.
And Africa's much bigger than it's
fucking this big. I've been lied to. Who's the one who wrote the map? Who made the map? What the hell? Who made the map? Who invented the map? Greek academic Anaximander. I've never heard this name. No wonder.
Anaximander.
Anaximander believed and created the first world map in the 6th century BC. Anaximander reportedly believed that Earth was shaped like a cylinder and humans lived. No, he's not the one who did. Who created the map we use today? If you've ever seen a map of the world, and classrooms or atlas, chances are you've seen the Gerardus Mercator at 16th century Flemish No wonder I've never heard of these guys. Idiots.
Well, according to your lack of knowledge on Germany anyways, I would imagine you didn't pay too much attention.
I loved the globe. I would spin that shit all the time like a kid with ADHD. So I'm just saying, I would stare at these places, and I definitely did the little thing that most kids are told not to do and wrote on the globe. Left little notes. There was multiple globes.
I was not aware that was a thing to not write on the globe. Why not?
Okay, well, I would always you were here, or Chris was here, or made it so small that the teacher wouldn't notice. Teacher would always try and come over and wipe the pencil and stuff that people would write on. Well, in the 6th or 8th grade, they were laminated. But you could peel the sticker back and write it and then fold it.
Gosh.
Yeah, okay, cool. But I would put it in Sharpie. You ain't wiping that off. I could go back to Edgman's room right now, 6th grade. Boom, it's going to be there. If he's even working. But I bet it's still there. Point being, the idiot who drew this map up, we need a superhuman. Somebody who could just fly around the earth with a camera and then 3D model this.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a satellite doing that.
Well, I'm just saying, if they haven't fixed it yet, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Don't tell me. Nope. No. Because if they can 3D model an Earth right now, and it still looks like Greenland is twice the size of the U.S., WTF, mate. It's like that Google Maps thing.
Looks a lot different because of them ice caps.
I get that, but the whole point of what is it, Google Earth, when it freezes and all of a sudden your car becomes a limo? I feel like 16th century must have had a broken Google Maps car, because all of a sudden whoever was drawing this thing, and all of a sudden it blurred out and extended this image to 10 times the United States. It's getting bigger. 20 times United States that it's been on every globe since.
Well, 16th century, how much technology did they really have?
They had Icarus.
Okay, but there's that whole quote, the men who win the wars tell the tales of battle. So the ones coming home to tell this guy what the world looked like obviously could tell him whatever they wanted to.
Well, that's the same thing about the Pope, the Catholic Church. Let's not get into that. But, they spoke the story that they wanted to speak.
Yeah.
Books were changed, scrolls were burned.
No one can even read the language that the Bibles were originally written in.
Hold on, that's an opinion, not a fact. But yeah, we're gonna get into that. But then, but as we were just speaking about, this is the thing that we're talking about, how the map is so vastly changed. If you look at the actual position of Greenland versus if you looked at Greenland, picked it out, put it on the map above the United States or on Africa, there's a size difference from what they drew versus what the reality is. And it's something to do with the shape of the earth, etc. Understandable. But yeah, it is crazy to think that how we were talking about, where is it? This guy could go to Auschwitz, take this picture, and share it on social media like he is above the flak, so to speak. And where's the girlfriend? Oh, right here. Here's the girlfriend's Twitter. Oh, protected.
Private.
I wonder.
Staff nurse. Interesting.
Sheffield, England. Where have I heard that before?
The nanny named Fran.
Oh, that's right. Sheffield. But the flack they're getting is so crazy. It is. So right here it says, boxer Jamie McDonald receives criticism after posting smiling selfies at Auschwitz concentration camp. And this is what got me originally, because I was like, okay, I'm seeing people post these people. And it says 10th of February, 1944, a transport of 1,015 Jews deported from Westerbork in the occupied Netherlands arrived at Auschwitz. SS doctors sent 142 men and 73 women to the camp. The remaining 800 people were murdered in gas chambers. Eva and Leanne Munzer, 7 and 5, were among them.
So terrible.
The fucking idea that these people would just, okay, 9, you 800 people, here.
That wasn't even the end of it.
Man, I don't know. Concentration camps are not tourist attractions. TripAdvisor should categorize them appropriately. And this has just brought up the whole, like,
The
okay.
TripAdvisor is about to catch some smoke,
Oh,
too.
they got a bunch of flack. But it goes through, like, all these people are posting about how they were murdered or how they went missing. You know, there was one decent story in this that I saw. I'm trying to find it. Where are you at? Nope. No. Nope. I'm going to find her. Not her. Here you go. 11th of February, 1916. Polish woman, I'm going to butcher this, Shawerna Szmazgluska, was born in Przglau, in Auschwitz from 6th October into 1942, number 22090. She escaped during the evacuation after the war. A writer, author, one of the first books about Auschwitz, Smoke over Birkenau. Now, this face, I don't know, compared to some of these others, this person just looks pissed off. This person looks determined. Like, this looks like... You ever seen John Wick?
Yes.
Okay. You know when he then looks at the guy and he's like, he may be safe now. And he just looks, you know he's going to kill him.
Yeah.
Like he's safe in the Empire or whatever the hotel is. That person looks like they're going to come back for me. And I'm happy they got away. Every person that survived, I'm happy. I can't wrap my mind, I just can't. And I'm honest about it. I can't wrap my mind around that much death. I'm not good with death anyway. But that much death, this is why I've never gotten into it.
You know, I watched a documentary on this because I've rabbit holed on Nazi Germany. And from these concentration camps, there's like neighborhoods a mile out. So while they're actively burning all of these bodies in their ovens, you can see families like hanging up their clothes and living their day-to-day life, smelling that death smell in the air from those ovens, just a mile away from the camp, living life like life, I guess.
This Auschwitz keeps posting exhibition or whatever, and they keep, you know, when he was 6, was deported from Olomouc to the ghetto on 2844 10/28/1944, was deported from the ghetto to Auschwitz, where he was immediately killed upon arrival and transport. So they were killing kids immediately? That's crazy to me.
It gets worse. There's a lot of dark pictures where kids are starved. You can see every single outline of a bone in their body and then slaughtered.
Eva Aline Munzer, and this is the one we already saw.
Little baby.
Betrayed and later were betrayed and later murdered at Auschwitz. They were among 1.5 million child Holocaust victims. Their parents hid them with one rescuer and their son, Al, with another. The story shows both sacrifice and greed during the Holocaust. Why does this person look like... what is that child actor? She did 50 First Dates. What's her name?
50 First Dates.
Something with a B.
Oh, Cameron Diaz.
No, it's the other one. Yeah, she was in Charlie's Angel with Cameron Diaz.
Oh my gosh. I know who you're talking about. Her name escapes me.
Brewer? Tina? What's her name? Drew Barrymore.
There you go.
Yeah, Drew Barrymore. This looks like childhood Drew Barrymore right here. I'm not trying to take away from this person, but, you know, there's what's happening in the world right now. I want to get off the, DraftKings. Nobody cares. Midsummer movie, COVID-19 news and health in California. Biden and Putin spoke as the threat of Russia invasion into Ukraine looms. Let's see. Oh, dear Jesus. President Joe Biden spoke with Russia President Vladimir Putin via telephone on Saturday, in addition to calls between two countries' top diplomats to defense secretaries. The New York Times reports the U.S. is leaving only a small group of diplomats in the U.S. embassy in Kiev. Per the New York Times, the Pentagon also announced it's pulling 160 military trainers out of the country. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said in the White House briefing on Friday that there is a very distinct possibility of a Russian invasion of Ukraine in the next few days, saying that the attack could occur during the Beijing Olympics, which end on February 20th. Sullivan also urged all Americans still in Ukraine to leave in the next 24 to 48 hours. Multiple other countries have also advised their citizens to leave the country despite its military maneuvers in the region, including deploying more than 100,000 troops near the Ukrainian border. Russia says that there's no plans to invade, according to ABC News. Stay here for the latest.
I mean, if I was going to do an invasion, I ain't going to tell you till it's happening.
Wait, who the fuck? Hey, we're coming, guys. We're on our way. Yeah, sorry. I do have a decent Russian accent. At least my friends say so. My friend. It's very nice.
Any Russian friends tell you that?
Yes. Literally today, I was speaking to a guy who was helping me with some software stuff. And I made a joke. This is good car. It's BMW. It's 2 Series. Do not go over speed bump. 4-spot welds, car brake and half. BM1. It's a good car. Salvage
the guy you were
title.
talking to was our...
He has a Russian accent. He thought it was funny. But don't try and bust my balls or I'm going to cross the table. Okay, so now let's look. Okay, within the first 3 posts, here you go. Number 45 says, Trump says Russia emboldened on Ukraine after incompetent U.S. Afghanistan withdrawal. I personally do not always agree with Fox News. A lot of things that they say are kind of out there.
Fake news from Fox News?
No, there's so much fake news everywhere, but it doesn't matter. If Fox News is wrong about shit, CNN's wrong about shit. Everything is about ratings.
Yeah.
Everything. But what's so funny is the way that they try and prop up anything Donald Trump says, whether it's right, wrong, ignorant, stupid, past, present, future.
What's
They
interesting...
just want to stay on his side for 2024.
Because I don't keep up with the news that much, but from my understanding, Trump was banned from all platforms. So where are they getting Trump quotes?
Let's find out. We can click. We've got news for you. If you like our coverage, please disable your ad blocker. Refresh page. Is it that easy? No. What was this? It's like, don't run. Okay, not on this website. I'm so sorry. They got me to do it. Saturday said, where did he say incompetent? First of all, it's shocking because it should have never happened. It would not have happened, Trump said on Fox and Friends. So he's doing Fox interviews directly.
Wow.
And only. What is this? CBS lead the show tonight with news reporting. What does this say? Whoops. I gotta say, every time they say that the 82nd Airborne, division of the military, just the way that they say it is so funny. Because then you got the guys in the 82nd that are like, yeah, 82.
Somebody did like a really quick summary on the conversation with Biden and Putin, and they were basically like, Biden said, or Biden said something to Russia like, you don't want the problems. If you do this, you're going to get sanctions. Like, I'll send you the whole bill right now. And then Putin responded like, I can tell by the problems going on in America that you guys need this money. So go ahead and send me the bill. I'll pay it in cash right now. We're coming for Ukraine. Sorry.
I don't know. I haven't read that, so I don't know if that's true or not. But I could imagine Putin saying, how much? You tell me, I pay it.
Yeah.
This is my land. This is not your land. This is my land. I take it.
Yeah.
I pay bill.
Obviously.
Gold, crypto, not paper. I pay it. No. On his horse.
Oh my gosh. So
I pay it.
distinguished.
Says, yeah, he's a distinguished man. He's the most powerful man on earth. Besides Xi Jinping. But it's, I make fun of fucking Putin any chance I get. He just looks like he's got the biggest rod up his ass to his stomach. And I've seen some people with some shit real far up there. He looks like he's just...
Yeah.
Good.
Well, from what I see from actual Russians, they're not fond of Putin. So I wonder how all of this is transpiring between the civilians in both countries.
On another note, I think a lot of people come here to America, not to the shittiest, state in America, in my opinion, but they come to America and they're like, okay, I'm escaping Putin. I'm gone. I'm free. But then when they get any, flack from their families back home. You remember David, I almost went to Russia to his wedding. He supported Putin. And it was any time he was around going there or coming back, everything Putin was the right thing. It was the best thing.
Maybe he was just amping himself up to not get beheaded for treason or
I
something
don't know,
crazy.
but it's one of those, it's weird because that's like saying, okay, Biden's my right-hand man. God bless America. Like, I'm here, and then I go to Hawaii, or not fucking Hawaii. I go to Fiji or Africa or Australia, and it's like, fuck that piece of shit. It's such a, I'm not there, I don't care, I can speak my mind. I wonder how many people feel like they can't speak their mind for fear of reprisal or reprimand.
From what I hear, that absolutely does happen in certain countries.
I could imagine. If I was president...
Well, I mean, our country was founded on treason to begin with, but treason...
Let's not get to that. The Tea Party.
Yeah, but treason was a big thing for a long time. So...
But they just beheaded people, the guillotine, the guillotine and all of that. Not the, UFC guillotine, but like, they chopped people's fucking heads off for this thing. You've committed treason.
You spoke words against the crown.
Crown, yeah. Was it the French Revolution? How many people died in that? How do I know about the French Revolution, but not the Holocaust?
I don't know, dude.
They probably smelled worse.
We went to the
There was
same
more
high
buckets
school.
of piss in the French Revolution. Just
What's
saying.
crazy is we went to the same high school, and chances are we had the same history teacher, and he was too pumped to talk about Nazi Germany all the time.
See, but back when I was going to high school, so we had a kid, Corey. The only time before history class that Nazis were brought up was when he came dressed as Hitler and got booted off premises for Halloween. Then it was all the movies that would portray a scary movie, whatever, any Little Nicky, any Hitler reference. That's the only time he talked about Hitler. Then there was history class. He was a bad guy. He killed anyone that wasn't of the Aryan nation, yada yada, the supreme race. But that was about it. I didn't know his breakfast habits. I didn't know his wants in life for his wife's name until I fucking saw a time travel show where they were trying to kill him without killing him and then replace some time traveler ABC show 5 years later. Point being, it was never about him or Auschwitz. It was about, here's how the war started, here's how it happened, here's what mistakes were made. It was never focusing on the people. History never focused on the people or the stories of the people. The class wanted to get you, 52 tests a year possible that they could give you, 52 weeks, whatever. So say 26 tests a week or a year. They wanted to get you with 60% of that information to pass. So they would give you 20 questions and bullet point 20 ideas a week, 7 days to get it into you at that Friday test. It was never specific information like you get in media today from crowdsourced information. Because I would have never known about some of these names, dates, or birthdays, or the damn Drew Barrymore lookalike. That's fucking sad.
Yeah, the pictures.
I'm never going to forget that child. Never. Because anytime I look at Annie, any of those younger children actors now, I'm going to think Drew Barrymore, and then I'm going to think that girl who got betrayed with her baby brother and her baby sister and killed in the camps. Fuck.
It's crazy because the pictures they had in our history book depicted children in much worse conditions.
So, on to now shittier news. Washington Examiner says Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban warned if Russia invaded Ukraine, it could send thousands of Ukrainian refugees to Hungary. Instead, he claimed it was Hungary's best interest to avoid war.
Wow. Pulling in America.
So he's saying that he don't have room because he's Hungarian Prime Minister. And he's like, oh, it's best to have peace instead of war.
Yeah.
Because we don't want you hungry, you're weak, etc. Don't come here. I wonder if he'll build a wall. Make Russia pay for it.
Oh my gosh.
If he's anything like him. Joe Biden told Vladimir Putin that it would that the West would respond decisively to any invasion of Ukraine, adding such a step would produce widespread suffering and isolate Moscow. God, he looks so old. That's crazy. Why does he say the West? Who's backing us?
People have some whatever fear about the Americas, but China backs Russia and everybody owes China money, so.
See, because right now I believe David is back in Belarus, so.
Ooh, he's out there right now?
Yeah.
Are you able to check in with him?
I tried. Phone's disconnected. But so Russia's military move into Belarus poses risk to more than just the Ukraine. So for those who don't know, I had a buddy, David, who was in the repair sector of the world. And he went back to Belarus, and out there are no, it's not city living. It's out there in the woods like this with huts and dry roads that you have to walk to. And he went and got married.
Is his wife from there as well?
Yeah. Very heavy accent. Pretty girl. But her family's out there, so I understand if he's out there currently. So Ukrainians want to be in NATO because of years of Russian aggression, thousands dead.
Crimea stolen,
Donbas destabilized, a deranged, homophobic, oppressive autocrat obsessed with destroying a sovereign nation, but it's not unreasonable. No. I don't care about defense contractor money. I care about Ukrainians being men armed and staying alive. I care about the survival of the Ukrainian nation. Russia is the aggressor here. You should have questions for their defense industry. The Pentagon is accusing Russia of planning a graphic false flag operation in Ukraine. Ukraine would justify an invasion into the former Soviet state. The fun part is every time I see somebody trying to speak English on text that doesn't speak English, it makes me speak like Spanglish in my mind and gets me confused. So I start reading things backwards to make it forward.
I mean, props to them, though, because I couldn't even attempt to speak their language, but
Google Translate.
That doesn't work out the way
you could fart into a phone and tell Google to translate it, and it will come up with a language in turn via text, via cryptograph to speak to someone.
I get that, but I've had a friend with a first language being foreign and sat there with Google Translate, said something into the phone, had it translate to their language, and they're like, no, that's wrong.
Well, you can have a real word-for-word conversation now with people via Google Translate.
I've seen the little AirPod type things, too, where it translates in your ear while they're talking.
Yeah, see, that's hyper-inflated. You just put the phone down and it has one person facing you, one person facing them, and you speak to one, it reads out of that side of the phone, speaks to the other, reads out of this side of the phone. Because now with stereo phones, like my 12 Pro Max, there's a speaker here and a speaker here. So it has microphone here, microphone here. It utilizes all that, and it speaks from this way, speaks from that way.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's ways to do it. There's fancy things going on. But as American asks for citizens free Ukraine with 24 to 48 hours amid danger of invasion, Ukrainians have been engaging in heated discussions over a winner of Eurovision's national selection. Many believe points were properly counted. Can't decide is this for better or for worse. Pentagon to send 3,000 additional troops to Europe amid tensions in Ukraine border. I don't think that we will send that many people. I think we're going to sit there on our hands and wait. It's what we tend to do.
You think we'll see war on our soil during our life?
That's a hard question, babe, because there's too many... I gotta say, there's too many stupid people in control of powerful things.
Too many variables at play.
No, there's too many stupid people. You could say a million different ways there are variables. No, there are people that get inflated egos, deep pockets, and they're like, chess just doesn't do it for me anymore. Let's send 1,500 people to try and start a nuclear war.
Just because I can and I'm bored.
Yeah, and on my deathbed, I'll write a memoir, and my great-grandkids will never have to want for money. And in my opinion, I don't believe Joe Biden's the best thing for this country. Absolutely.
I think people that even voted for him feel the same.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people were just like, what, we voted for him? Was I asleep? Was Sleepy Joe? Like, what? Then there's the people who are like, oh, he's trying his best. He's an older man. We've dug our grave for this 4 years. We'll see it through.
And then somebody did a poll, and there's still, I think the numbers were way low. Like only 20% of people actually support.
Oh yeah, he's not getting reelected. If he gets reelected, I ain't living through this next one. I'm just saying the stress. I don't drive a gas vehicle. I'm a bit bougie. But holy fuck, I feel the pain every time somebody's like, I gotta watch 30 seconds of ads on my gas pump and pay $6 to go 3 miles down the road. I'm like, so now they're tracking your ass, targeted ads to your gas pump, and they're triple charging you on the damn 3 miles that you're getting to your Jeep.
And our great state of California is moving everybody to electric by 10 years from now?
No new sales. But you still got 30-year-old cars on the road anyway, so they can't sell any new cars in 10 years.
And I imagine that means if your part breaks, there's nowhere to get
That's only if Newsom is still...
Keeps on keeping on.
Because, policies change the same way Biden tore down a bunch of Trump's policies. Next person will tear down a bunch of Biden's policies, reinitialize a bunch of others. But I feel like it's a giant cycle that is getting more condensed, because it used to be like certain things would take 20 years to come back around. Flannels, right? They're like, flannels are making a comeback. And then it was like, flared jeans are making a comeback. And everyone was all into style, making a cycle. The 70s are in right now. Well, now it's politics from the 50s are in right now. It's just basically... Don't do drugs, kids. Only we can put drugs on the dinner table. CIA flooded, ghettos and whatnot. Same thing. It's now a cycle of doing the same shit every few years.
History repeating itself.
But they know it. The people in power know it. And they're just like, how much can we fuck with people before they'll know? And then they say, oh, no, we've never done that before. The best thing I've seen this year was Joe Biden on the hot mic. Did you see that?
Yeah.
What a stupid son of a bitch. That's the funniest shit. It was the only real Joe Biden quote I think I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Everything else is conflated bullshit from a teleprompter that he can half read or fall asleep to.
Yeah, they caught up with the guy he made that comment to after the fact, and he was like, I didn't even know that he said it until someone told me afterwards, because I guess he didn't hear it in the moment. I'm like, wow.
The thing with Joe... I think he will gladly step away after all the stress and the mentality bullshit that he's going through now, because he has to be worn out. He wants to save the country. I understand it. He's the 46th president. He's on the wall. He'll be on the history books forever as the most, what's the word? Not abrasive. The most attempting, the risk it to get the biscuit president. He tried to make a difference, and it spit right back in his face on most of the shit he tried. Inflation, more inflation. Great. Makes him money. I understand that, because he's got more people spending more money. He makes more money. He's got money everywhere. He's a rich man. I'm not a fan of him. I don't care. I wasn't a big fan of Trump. I like some of the policies that benefited me. People will call me a capitalist because of it. But man, I don't think there'll ever be a great president. It's not JFK or, some of these like historical people. It's going to be a shit show with whoever writes the history books on this one. They're going to put Trump as Greenland on the map of 2199, It'll be like, and Trump was this giant piece of shit that's super inflated and just looks like he's bigger than everybody. In reality, he's super fucking small and you can fit 5 of them in this McDonald's. It's going to be the same thing. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be.
I'm going to record a clip of this to send to our great-grandkids. Great-great-great-great-great-grandkids and be like, listen, fuckers. Like I said, I want to know how this story plays out. Don't trust the history books. I want to know what they say about these people now. I'm not going to be in the history books. I just want to make some money and go about my quiet fucking life, driving anywhere I want, unimpeded.
Some beaches.
With an I and a U, Fun times down the line.
Both.
We will see you all later. We appreciate you hanging out with us on this Friday night, or what is it, Saturday night? Damn,
it is.
It is Saturday night. Let's go have a cocktail.
Let's have something.
All right. We'll see you all later. Thank you for visiting. We'll talk to you again. Hit the like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Now we're on LinkedIn. Wherever we post, just keep in contact and know when we're coming.